Audio 1, 2. All right. What do we have here? Pretty nice range. Nice price action. Nothing too sideways. Interesting PA today, actually. We went into had a nice open. Price came back to new dog. Went higher. Got outside of the daily fair value gap here. Broke out, retested that fair value gap. Went higher to what level? The quadrant on the daily fair value gap. Created SMT, dropped lower, shifted market structure. A lot of liquidity. Broke lower, went to midnight open. This is technically not a relative equal high. Liquidity got swept here. A nice little pool of liquidity there. Got taken. London lows taken. We got relative equal lows. My overall draw today, guys, it's I think it's going to be down. I think it's shorts, and the reason why, this blue bar here, or let's not even talk about the blue bar. These are ETH hours. Since the open at Sunday, which is going to be this red line here, none of this has been filled. It's a void. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be drawing price like it did yesterday. The whole reason why we were short yesterday is because of the void. We filled in some of the RTH gap for Monday, not all of it. It could be left open. But I do feel like this red line here, it might be terminus for the trade or for price action. Let's see what we have here on the daily. All right, you guys know the drill. Top right, here's a daily chart, right? Fair value gap here. The nested fair value gap. You know, we almost did the highs, create that relative equal high, dropped lower, and today we opened up to the upside. Then maybe we might continue, fill in that gap, and possibly push higher after that. Let's look at the 4 hour here. Again, that level I'm liking. 1 hour. Below the midnight open. That's yesterday's Asia. We're trending to the downside here. There is this fair value gap Where is fair value up here? It's definitely higher than where we're at right now in terms of a trend. So I wouldn't want to see London break higher. 15-minute. Let's see what it's showing us. London lows has just been taken. And again, a very similar analysis here. Okay. All right. Higher time frames is nothing too obvious. Nothing that the 1 minute's not telling us. Let's create some structure around this now. There is some SMT between ES and NQ. I'm also going to map out first fair value up after 6 o'clock here. These lows here look interesting. We just created a shift in market structure to the upside, but we are breaking below first presentation after 6 a.m. This was the MMS to the upside. Market structure shift. Let me have some coffee. I'll have sleep. These lows are nice. I think for the interim, maybe these two relatively equal lows, the downside. The only thing I'm not liking is that we went into this daily fair value up, which is this red box here. And we kind of just popped away from it. That's not what I'm liking about shorts right now. And the price could definitely continue higher. It can even grab liquidity up here, as we do have minor buy side sitting here. And then it might drop lower. But this is like shifted. No, I'm like these highs right here on the 1 minute. So shift in market structure, we're using that 1 minute, that's 6 a.m. fair value gap there. Assuming we're going to grab liquidity first above us. What would that be? 2 to 1. Come to a little small buy. Just got above midnight opening range. All of my stop nested right here. Then I'm going to target these highs here. So what's going for this trade here? London lows taken, swept, shifted market structure. We're sitting above 6 a.m. first presentation. We just pierced above midnight open. I do like these lows below me, but I do think that we're going to head higher here. Didn't get a notification today. What is that? Oh, like for like this live stream? Interesting. So here's buy side liquidity. 6:38. It's also a weird time. All right. There's definitely some negatives in this trade that I'm in. Not an A plus. Probably say it's a B. Just a 2 to 1. using a shift in market structure, a bounce off of the daily fair value gap here. I'm pushing into minor buy side, which are these two relative equal highs, using the shift of market structure and the 6 a.m. first presentation. I do like how we like respected in the past and then we rejected to the upside. That's why I took this trade like that. Higher time frames, we are pushing into the 15-minute fair value gap, which is right there. We're gonna have to break through it. That's negative confluence 1. And then the 15-minute here, again, we are still trending to the downside. So I am anticipating just a bottoming out here, temporarily grabbing these highs and seeing what's going to happen to price once we get there. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I never scheduled it last night. I just did it. I created it 10 minutes ago. No, these relative equal lows here, again, a bit sus, but let's see if I can fade the market here to the upside. And then grab the short here down. But these lows here, like everything's trending to the downside here. It's just the sweep of liquidity from London is what I liked here. So let's see, price wants to power up and go higher here. How you guys doing? I want to see it get above this fair value gap here that we respected to the downside. It'd be nice to see it close above and use it as an IFEG and continue. But once we get above this one, I'll feel a lot better about this position. Hitting buy side here. Let's see SMT here. Or let's see, sorry, ES. ES has a relative equal, has exact same target here on ES. Price is moving to the upside slowly, so I'm going to start trailing my stop loss here. I'm going to start cutting. So 16.4. Once it gets above here, I'm going to trail below mean threshold of 6 a.m. first presentation and get half risk off the table. My stop loss is right there now. Right, little trail. Let's get it below the body of this bullish order block here. Shouldn't go back there. I want to see it pierce this fair value gap here. And once we can get above here and get a 5-minute closure above, like in this area above it, then that would further increase the chance of price wanting to get the buy side without getting this next target here below us, being these relative equal lows. All right, nice little push to the upside. I'm trailing once again. Okay. The risk is pretty pointy right now. I'm going to be below this body here. At this point, it's just, you want to see it go. Trade copy working. Yeah, it is. Nice 5-minute closure. So here's the 5-minute fair value gap. It closed right at the top of it, which is be nice if it actually got above it. But I'm happy with this closure because it's showing me weakness on the 5-minute chart. Okay, body closures on the upper fair value gap. It means weakness. It hasn't broken through on the 5-minute, but it's showing crazy weakness. I like how we broke this as well. Like we rejected it and then we sliced through it. So like if price were to come back down, I would want it to use it as support and push higher. Okay. That's how I'm seeing. This is what I want to see from price. There's a couple of other fair value gaps here that right now it's kind of, pushing through, which is nice to see. And then terminus. I'm watching ES too. I'm going to go to break even. I'm going to go to break even. I think so. All right. So created this C to the upside. I want to see price support here. If it goes lower, that'll be troublesome for price. I want to choke it, right? You know what? I'm just going to get below this bullish order blocks here. Again, it's tiny risk at this point. What is it? 4 points. My risk right now is $30. So 25%. Five minutes looking promising. 15 minutes looking promising. It's all looking good so far on higher time frames. It's just, I think I have to survive this pullback here. So again, below the bodies of these bullish order blocks. I know it would be ideal to see it do it here. It's breaking that first fair value gap down, that inversion. On NQ, find that bottom there on this pullback. What we have here, we got this weird gap on ES. Might be going to this gap. going to scale in a bit. I'm going to move to break even here. That scaling brought it a bit too high, but that's fine. Wasn't expecting that. Thought it'd be a bit lower. We're still at break even. And with that scale, how many points do I have with this scale in here? Let's see. 100. All right, it's going to be 109 points. No, something's wrong here. That's not 109 points. 33 points. $400 if it hits. I'm going to scale out at least half if NQ hits its level first before, or sorry, if ES hits its level first before NQ. So I have my little button ready on the top left here. Bit more price. Come on, bit more price. Beat them all. All right, it created relative equal highs on ES here. I've got, I don't know, $20, $30 locked in profit. Come on, price. One more swing higher. Take out these highs. No reason not to right now. 4 seconds, we're closing here. We're going to have this bullish order block form. Nice. That's not really liking too much. So for price to completely screw me over here, it's going to have to basically break structure here to the downside right before hitting target. But I think we're in the macro too right now. So where do you think price is going to go here, right? If it's right here, based on my knowledge of ICT, it should be going to buy side here since it's already to damage that sell side. We're trending up nicely. 5-minute close nicely with like a low test here. It's pushing into these fair value ups that are created. It's going to these bullish order blocks here. Again, this low shouldn't break. Right now, I'm just covering commissions, I guess, on my long entry. I think we're SOL here. I'm gonna scale in here because if it's gonna drop to this level, let's see if I can play my luck here. and see if that's the bottom there. I don't think so. I think it's going to keep dropping here. Because if it's going to hit me there, it's going to hit me there. There you go. So I'm out, guys. Unfortunate. Yeah. What a stupid trade. Stupid NQ. Such bullshit. Oh my god. There's a tiny 5-minute fair value gap. I don't really look at those. You know what ES did right now? See this little gap right here? I have a feeling that was the fill. And price might rocket from here higher. You know what? I'm hating these arrows. I'm taking them off. That would have been a nice $500 per account. I almost scaled out too. I was so close to scaling out. It just had to push half a point more. But on to the next, right? Grabbing longs from here, might go there, but structure-wise, liquidity grab, I'm not liking it though, right? Longs at this point, no bueno. Macro, what are you doing, bruv? We got sell side here below us. I'm still seeing this as minor buy side above us. So we got these two levels. That price right now is in between both. And it's going to go to one and not the other. Unless it just consolidates. In terms of, let's see the 2-minute here. 2-minute structure here. Again, this was not a nice little reversal it created. Not seeing nothing crazy, 3-minute technically. This could have just been a really deep pullback and it can continue going higher after the drop and liquidity sweep. But it looks like it lost a bit of power there. So we're hitting right now midnight open. And it looks like we're going to be breaking it. After such a deep retracement here. These longs look less probable. I'm looking right now at the 15-minute. It's going to close in 1 minute very bearishly. And we might actually be swinging to the downside here. Maybe using that first presentation. As a short. Three contract. But again, we want to see a pullback here, right? So shift in market structure. So this is going to be our bearish order block here. Okay. Bearish order block. And technically, we'd want to see a pullback at least to here and maybe take that short, right? Something like that would be Like taking it here would be definitely, I think, higher risk just because you're already in that run. You'd want to see a pullback, a get in. And assume that price isn't going to hit these highs here. The 15 minutes going to close in 15 seconds below its fair value gap. So if you guys look at the 15-minute chart, see, no, it's too messy here. But if you guys open up a 15-minute chart, you guys will see that rejection. So 15-minute looks bearish. I don't think it's going to get above here. 5-minute looks bearish as well. So let's see if price can get to the bottom of this bullish breaker. And I'm going to do a little switcheroo of my analysis here. Wouldn't want to get any, there's no RR there, right? Okay. 7 o'clock candle. Mother flipper. Prices are just being a bit wonky today. That's the best way I can describe it on screen. On stream. There, we got a break below that. First presentation. Let's see. Again, I'm adjusting possible entry here. I'm seeing how we're going to close here. And if we can get back up into this first presentation at 6 o'clock and use that as that delivery to the downside. Maybe. Yeah, watch for the 5 contract here. Again, I do want to see a fair value gap form here, something, because we're at the upper level of this daily fair value gap, which we've respected in the past. And remember, 2 to 1s is what I'm hunting here. I'm already a bit triggered off of this trade. I'm going to lie. But I can't let that affect me too much on my next trade here. We kind of inverted this fair value gap here too, which is kind of nice. So let's see now how this is going to respect and react to this. I'm just waiting for something clean here on the 1 minute for me to take a short. It's going to like that small fair value gap. You know what? I'll take a short here. Buy stop. Limit. What would that be? The 2.5 to 1. Stop is right above this high here of this bullish order block before the drop lower. I'm using both of these inverted fair value gaps here. We get a closure below the daily. That's going to be huge. But again, I'm seeing these 2 levels here as supporting price and not wanting to push higher. Like here, we hit midnight open, and then let's see if we can get a collapse here. 32 points. My 5 contract for $130. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'll leave my stop here. So my bias here, even though we had a pretty, you know what, we'll see if all these fair value gaps have been inverted, we'll push price to the downside. That was not a healthy close here from the 1 minute perspective. There you go, alpha minus, well, technically minus 1R for what this trade was. Oh, look, so bearish. All right. So price bodies never got below that daily fair value gap high, which is this red box here. It hovered. Inversed here. You can see you got above all these levels that I thought it would inverse the downside. 15 minutes looking bearish though, still. Same with the 5 minute here. I will be waiting to see what price wants to do here. So I got buy side and sell side below us. I still think maybe sell side here is going to be that first target than the buy side. Right now, I'm just doing funded family futures. And the reason why is it's $90. It's a 1 day pass for the Prime account. And just nice and quick. It's one trade and you pass. And then you take it nice and slow while being funded. As of right now, with what price is doing and how it uses daily fair value gap low to go higher, I do not know if this bearish breaker is going to be respected here and price is going to find a top and push lower. If we'll see it slowing down, I might attempt another short here, but there's a possibility that it gets to these relative equal highs that we were targeting earlier. It was a really gnarly pullback here and pushing to the buy side. Remember, all of London, like, you know what, we kind of pushed up and then down. So in theory, if price were to find a top here, it would have to be a mean threshold. Okay. And even from a pullback perspective, let's see what that's going to look like. It's technically at OT right now. So, but there's just that chance that we got all this buy side above us. So going short here, again, 15-minute is aligned, 5 minute. Now 5 minute is a bit questionable. We broke above midnight open here. Let's see what price wants to do in terms of quadrants here. 20. Here. Do a little small sell here. And let's assume that I'm risking 50% on this short here. See if I can get a scaling opportunity. The reason why is because it's just the RR there, it's 3-1. Bearish breaker, shift to the downside, 15-minute look supported. There is a 15-minute fair value gap here that I just touched the top of and it collapsed lower. So we'll see here. Attempt to. This is not, I wouldn't say this is an A+ trade. Just because of this buy side here. So I think it's weighted here to the downside. Aggressive Pullback, stop nested right at that high there. Bodies. Bodies reject the bearish order block here. Now price is pushing into, we had this fair value gap here. Let's see it break to the downside here. I'm liking how the bodies are closing the lower half. Let's see one more push lower here. I'm gonna move my stop loss below this high here. Below this inversion fair value gap. Do not want to see price get anywhere here, and it should be heavy at this point. We're exiting the macro right now. So here is the final boss here. If this breaks lower, then I think we might have a little nifty push lower. I have $80 worth of risk on the table right now. Extremely little. Actually 1/3 of a regular position. And sometimes scaling into positions as they move into your favor and getting in early is a viable solution, but we'll see what price wants to do here. When you guys see me putting in like $200 worth of risk on a trade, that's when probabilities are pretty high. But as of right now, just testing out the market to see if it does want to use this bearish order block here, push lower with the pullback, using that 15-minute fair value gap and not getting higher. That was a nice, 1-minute rejection here, but I do need these bodies to close below this level here. All right. Not looking too toasty. This fair value gap here held nicely. Bodies closed above it. Bearish order block. Respecting to the downside here. Again, here's the biggest issue. So you know what? I am going to... You have little faith right now in this short. $50-minute looks bearish. Anyways, there's $20 of risk here. I'm not going to sweat over it. I'm pretty sure we'll get tapped out here. There you go. Now I do have to wait for something clean. Right, loss for the day, $200. So I'm at 1R fully with this trade and this trade. Which future firms are you trading? But it has real-time drawdown and funded, right? I don't know what real-time fund. It's end of day drawdown. That's what it is. So there's a consistency of 40%, and then at the end of each day, it's going to calculate what your drawdown is going to be. But if you make $1,000 at the end of the day, your drawdown is going to go up by $1,000. So it's always at 2K, and then eventually, once you get above, for example, 50,200, that is when you'll that trailing drawdown is going to stop. So we have buy side above us, sell side below us. That was a pullback to the bearish breaker here. Price never reverted. $7:14, we're outside of a macro time. 2 minute. No, technically price is creating nice swings higher and lower. It's just my execution was sloppy for the last two. We have use today. Forex factory. 2 p.m. So today is FOMC. We have 8:30 news. All right, so let me remove all of these in the past. And I'm gonna also remove this. I'm gonna remove the bearish breaker here so that we have a bit more clarity on structure. Buy side might be under attack right now. But again, guys, price right now is in between these two levels here. It's pushing into this last fair value gap before the push lower. If it breaks above, we want to see its support. Price continue to push higher. But from an overall structural perspective, you know, technically we haven't broke the last high yet from the swing lower. And that's just a one-to-one, so I'm not going to take that if price were to close it and reject the fair value gap and push higher. So I'll have to wait for some larger structure here. We'll see what happens when we take out this buy side here, what price wants to do. If it decides to take it out, and then we got our sell side right here below us. So usually what ICD says is when there's two levels of buy side and sell side, wait for one to be taken before taking out the other. That's the proper way of doing this. Here's a bullish order block. Price rejected it. Body's closed above it, pushing into this fair value gap here. Again, there's nothing here that I can safely take unless I'd have to really jam up my stop loss right there. But the chances of getting wicked out below this low here are ultra high here. Might push higher here, but let's see how it closes. Body still closing within it. This may be the draw, guys. Price right now is trading above the 50-minute fair value gap. I'm not in this position right now. Yeah, Yeah, just just FOMC today, which doesn't make it a high quality candidate for a trading day. And this final little fair value gap here. I'm on the 30-second chart right now. I'm just seeing how it's using the mean threshold of the 1 minute fair value gap here. And if it wants to respect it, stay in the upper half, close in the upper half, and maybe that would be like a tiny little pullback. Okay, see here. Do a little scalp here. Ultra high risk, 2.5 to 1 here. Look at my stop loss. It's basically just using this 1 minute, 30-second rejection. Man, today is not going well. Today is not going well, guys. this first long here definitely threw me off the rocker. I'm going to give it one more shot today, and I'm waiting for my last shot here because I'm down already 1.5 R for the day. I'll wait for something significant to happen with a decent stop loss, and then that's going to be the one high quality trade for the stream. Oh man, I still can't believe this long didn't hit the target. 2 pips off. But all in all right now, guys, price is trending to the upside. And we do have to wait here for a bit more value. Let's give away all my freaking gains from yesterday. All right. Bullish order block, price pushed higher here. It's within this 1 minute inversion fair value gap. It did push to the upside, but it collapsed right below it, wicking me out there. Sell side above us, buy side above us, sell side below us. The high quality trade of the day today, I think it's going to be short here. We'll have to wait for a disruption in buy side and seeing a nice shift and attacking the sell side here. These relative equal lows that form. I do think price has to take some buy side out. That's why I'm kind of drawn to this level here. And then once it takes out some buy side, sell side's going to be, you know, the next target because price really does two things. It hunts inefficiency or liquidity, and liquidity is sitting with these 3 highs here. The high that it created at 651 and these 2 relative equal highs. Good morning, Quant. take a short to this level, we have to see disruption to the upside. It's mandatory at this point. This level, again, I know it's of interest as well. I know that we poked here to the upside, but if you look at the higher time frames, like the 5 minute and the 15 minute, they're still technically relatively equal. We never had a body close below these highs. We had the wicks, but not the bodies. So technically there is some kind of, and then we got some sell side liquidity above here as well. So I am seeing targets here to the upside, here, and there. And then to the downside we got there. So we got to wait for one side to be taken out before taking the other. 7 a.m. Where are you? So the first displacement after 7 o'clock, technically it's right there. So this level right here is very important. We got both the 6 a.m. first presentation and the 7 a.m. first presentation, both nested here. These two are technically relatively equal too. Price is pushing lower, closed above this inversion. Again, I'm not liking this inversion fair value gap at all. I'm going to remove it, but you can see here how we've acted against it. We closed above it, then below it. This may have validated the fair value gap once again. ICT calls it as, can't remember the term, but ultimately, again, not too interested about this one right here. This one had nice rejections in the past. And again, just looking at to see what price is going to do once you come back into this fair value gap here, which is sitting right above the midnight open. But all in all, we are consolidating a bit sideways. 8:30 news. We'll see something happens around 7:50 to 8:10 there. It's going to be the redemption trade. Let's see in 40 seconds how this candle here is going to close below this fair value gap that was previously respected to the downside. Yeah, thanks, Quan. Yeah, second eval secured, third in progress. I'm not grinding with a shovel anymore, just sprinkling. Yeah, that's exactly. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. So price kind of came up here and never really took anything out from a liquidity perspective. It dropped lower. It technically shifted in market structure right here. It's going to this level right here. And when it comes to uncertainty here, this is my uncertainty. We've got all this buy side above us. We got the sell side below us between these two levels here. We're technically at mean threshold or right in the middle between premium and discount. 15 minutes is hovering within a fair value gap, so it's consolidating on the higher time frames. Yeah, yesterday's shorts, if I didn't close it, it would have been like an 8 to 1 or a 7 to 1. It was definitely painful when I left the computer and I was driving, just seeing a dump and knowing that it's going to keep dumping, but I couldn't get into position because I wasn't in front of my computer. So that was unfortunate. $7:30, kicking in at 1 minute here. all this here is also sell side. See, low, low, lower, low, lower, low. So there's, from a 1 minute perspective, there's targets above us and below us. My draw today is the lows from Monday. It's the red line here. That's my general draw. And that's why I want to see buy side being tagged out first before sell side. Where do we open up today? That also gives us hints as well. So we opened up down here at 30,300. And right now we're at 30,300. So we opened up somewhere around here. So if we were to open up at 930, it's going to be a bullish RTH gap of 160. So remember, it usually fills in it to the downside, at least to mean threshold. There's a 70% chance of that occurrence happening. It's technically going to this breaker right here, but just because I'm not looking at this MMS so much as we've never taken out liquidity. What copier do you recommend? So there's two copiers. There's one called Tradecopia, and there's one called Tradesyncer. I've used Tradesyncer for over the last 7 months. I really liked it. And then I got offered a free trial on Tradecopia. So right now I'm trying it out. I don't see any problems with it right now, but it's based on your computer. It's not cloud-based. So that's the one downside on the cheaper plan. It is generally cheaper. But I do have, there's this code right here, and it takes off 30% off. I don't have it listed anywhere. I got it last week. I didn't share it. But if you do end up going on the cloud version of Tradesyncer, that should reduce the price by 30%. And there's also Tradecopia. Unfortunately, I don't have any discounts on that. So you'd have to hunt the entry. But there's two good options so far. I haven't had issues with any. Buy side, sell side. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think like these triple lows are going to be taken, or is it going to take out the highs here? And why? I tried to guess and I was wrong. So I'm going to have to wait for something to happen before I take my trade. A sweep of liquidity, little shift in market structure, model 2022 entry. Yeah. But in my opinion, I know you're working on 3 right now. I'll probably leave, like once you pass 3, just leave it at 3 and get a payout on all 3. Get like $4,000 to $6,000 and then see how comfortable you are. If you're still uncomfortable, sit on the 3. But if you feel like you can kind of increase it to 5, then increase it to 5. All right. Kagos. Kagosum is basically thinking that we're pushing lower. Possibly. It's one or the other, guys. Like the 15-minute, we're sitting in this fair valley gap for the last hour. 5-minute, I don't have clear structure. 1 hour. 1 hour is interesting. It look like 1 hour looks like we might be bottoming out here. But again, when it comes to these highs and lows, the 1 hour has very little to do with that at this point. It can tag it and still close in a regular closing pattern and still push its higher time frame narrative. We had some really nice structure through all of London and Asia, and then all of a sudden we get this here. Again, the structure is still nice. It's just there's no entry here. Price is pushing into the 7 a.m. and 6 a.m. first presentation fair value gaps. It's technically a strong level. A guess would be something like this, where you're hoping a price does not take you out to the downside and you're doing like a 2.5 to the upside. But, you know, there's like, it's for me right now, it's a coin flip on the direction. So and live streaming is a bit difficult because like I know you guys want to see me trade, and sometimes there's no trades, and I just force myself like I did earlier today. So you know what? If it's going to be a boring session for the next 20 minutes, so be it. But there has to be something real in front of us to trade. So anyways, this is just sizing here. If we break below these levels, you might be pushing lower. This here is a very strong support level. Like, what is ES doing? Look what ES did here. It created relative equal highs. That would have been my partial, that alert there, but I'm deleted as of right now. Like smooth highs above us. Yes, technically, let's see. A bit more of a divergence here, but it's still technically trending in the same direction. The lows are a lot lower here. Yeah, this would be a gamble for me if I were to take this. It would be like a weighted gamble, 3-1. If it breaks below these levels, you're cooked. Or it might go to the upside, but I won't take it. No. I don't know how it's going to react to this. And this is where I guess patience pays. Macro in 10 minutes, so we might get a move at the top of the hour. And it's probably going to be a move to one of these sides here. And we'll see if there's maybe additional confluence that we'll get that's going to help us correctly forecast the direction of price. So we just touched the 7 a.m. first presentation. Yeah. That's good, Quan. Yeah, when you blow accounts, it definitely hits a huge mental load. And it's very easy to buy and sell those accounts right after you've taken 2 weeks to blow them, for example. I've been there. I've done that. Body's closing above this level here, like all of these candles. 3-1. 4. We're just sandwiched right now between two layers of liquidity. That's the issue. I'm not going to take another loss on guessing here. We're going to take a trade that probability 70% to one direction. Right now it's 50-50. You can see here, it went into this fair value gap here. Like now price is using this fair value gap above us. It's using this one below us. And price is just bouncing between them. Right? Respected nicely. Here's the, we'll see if it's a drop lower. We'll see how it closes. If it closes below these levels. And even if it does, grabbing a short off this, it's such shit RR that in my opinion, it's not even worth taking. Because assuming that you're right 40% of the time, this is not going to help out your model. Even though maybe temporarily it might work for this one trade, on the long term, it's going to definitely hurt you. And it's going to instill bad habits. We're pushing definitely below it. We're going back into this high of the daily fair value gap here. Like that's that red box high as we respected it in the past. Like maybe if we take this and we aggressively reverse, maybe that might be the long. But again, we need at least 2-to-1 RR to take a trade. Yeah, you're going to definitely overcome it. So liquidity hunted right there. Now let's see a drive toward these two lows right here, which it should. It's in striking distance. It's like what? What is that? 1 tick? 3 ticks. We want to see that. And then if we get like a pop, if we get a close here, this fair value gap here that's sitting on the upper half of this daily fair value gap, that's something that we want to see right to the upside. And maybe that might be a decent long. But I want to see this hold. So in 30 seconds, this will confirm this fair value gap. And this is going to be a stronger fair value gap to go off of, known as high probability. Liquidity is taken to the downside. Yes, it didn't take these lows, but NQ did. So there is a divergence. Now let's see if price wants to be funny here and if it'll push to the upside, invert this. And then again, my overall draw for the day is lower. It's down here. Oh, where's my red line? Right here. That's Monday's opening price. Liquidity there. There's a void. But from like an interim scalp, like that, 4-to-1, 3-to-1. That's kind of thought one here. From a 15-minute perspective, it looks bearish. 5-minute looks bearish. So it'd be counter trend. Counter trend, but so much liquidity has been left to the upside here. So again, I'm always trying to think like, what will price do to screw over as many people as possible? We also have sell side down here as well. So we took out minor sell side. We've got more sell side down here. So price will do one of two things when it gets to this very value gap. It might close above, and that might be a long. Again, there's sell side right below that was never taken, but it's assuming off of the sweep, or it goes into it and continues pushing lower to sell side below us. We'll have to see how it respects and rejects this. And like you'll have 3-to-1 R2 to the downside, assuming that you do catch it there. So to the downside, how many? 6. Gonna be 6 contracts for me. I just have it ready to go. What I like here that the bodies never took out this low here. A fast little rejection here. Not in it yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see how we close here and how we're going to be using this fair value gap. Because this would be considered a high probability fair value. Oh my gosh, man. Price is frustrating today. And there it goes without me. You guys caught that? Good job. It just would have hit profit. Unfortunately, my hesitation here prevented me from grabbing this 2.5-to-1. It's funny. Sometimes you wait for a bit more and you never get it and it just goes without you. Okay. So sell sign has been taken both on ES and then on NQ. So, you know, this short would have been nice. And the only thing I'm interested in right now is we'll see within the macro if it wants to get to buy side. If it's going to give a sharp reversal here, and if it's going to want to push higher. So that is a short that's never happened. And then what I'd be interested in is seeing this reverse right here, this specific fair value gap. This was the fair value gap that I used to drive liquidity lower. So I'll be watching this. And then again, seeing if it wants to get above these highs here. And the moment that we close above it, that's going to validate that inversion. But remember, overall draws below us. And again, just seeing if after this liquidity sweep, which is what we did right here, if price will have the willingness to go lower or higher. And this is going to be the only trade that may happen in the next 20 minutes. In terms of going short, again, that would be chasing price at this point to I don't know what level. So we'll see if we get a reversal here. If not, then we'll call it a day or a session at least. Did anyone catch that short? All right, price pushed into this fair value gap that he used to displace lower. Second push might be happening. It would be nice to see a closure below here. Look what we have below us here as well. These are all targets for the future. So target here. Am I face blocking it? Maybe. So see how my eye kind of gets drawn to those lows there, to those lows there. So second push is happening here. It closed below sell side now. So the bodies have closed. So in my opinion, that is a valid sweep there of those relative equal lows. That, to be honest, today would have been a perfect session if price just ran to these highs here and then we grabbed that short. It just never happened. So we got sell side liquidity here, sell side liquidity here. Can it continue dropping to these levels? It could, yeah. I'm looking for some reversal here after this relative equal low swept to the downside. And again, if we get that price action confirming that, might be a decent long before the 9:30 open. So that's going to be the fair value gap. It has to close above 2.5 to 1. $7.55, still in macro. I wouldn't long it from here because there is a chance that price is just going to continue dropping to these levels. And we're waiting for price to show us that it found its bottom. I know it's going to be reversing to the upside. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's technically on the slower side. Yeah, Alex, nice to see you. So So this model right here is just going to be liquidity sweep, breaking above fair value gap, IFVG closure, and then you take it to buy side liquidity. That's going to be the entry if it happens. I'm glad that price kind of went lower here and created a bit more disruption around sell side, because usually when you get like a wick like that and it goes back up, it has a tendency to shoot lower. And now we're going to be entering some other key levels here. So this right here. So we're in two daily fair value gaps right now. This is the mean threshold of like a bigger one that we're in right now. Inbound 382. Yeah, possibility, man. So for a long to play out, it would have to be that. If not, this fair value gap right here displacing to the upside. If we're not above these levels, then there's no interest in longs for me. And these two short levels here are of more interest. The most likely, I think price right now is hunting these levels. Stacked orders of imbalance. Good to know. At 82. Yeah, so Chris might be right about this one, guys. It'd be nice to see a fair value gap form on this level here. Did we get one here in the past? See how nicely this level rejected? Mean threshold of daily fair value gaps, very strong levels. I don't have any like fair value gaps sitting. It would be great to see a fair value gap sit on that level. Super high risk trade would be something like this. This inversion right here. I don't know if I can take that. That would be insane RR, but here, I'll take a little tiny trade here. Not recommended, entertainment purposes only. I'm using this tiny IFVG to the upside that created. My risk is, I think, a quarter of what it usually is. And then if it decides to actually find a bottom here, I think it's going to go lower, but there's a chance here that we're going to want to pull back here using that mean threshold there as a level. Actually, you know what? The proper entry, guys, remember it's up here, it's not here. This is me just taking a quarter risk here, and I'm going to go to break even really quickly and try to scale in here all the way to the top. I'm ready. I technically break even here. That gap is interesting. All right, I'm at break even. Let's see if it wants to keep going. High chance of it rejecting here and going lower from this fair value gap here. We want to see it blast right through and close higher. If it does, I'll scale in. That's going to be my first scale in attempt. And I'll scale in at 2 contracts. I'll get rid of that eyeball. I click on. Next candle here, if it displaces aggressively to the upside, probabilities increase greatly once you close above this specific fair value gap here. If it decides to pull back from here, I'm completely cooked. Scale in one more here. And keeping my risk close to 0. It's below the body of the candle that broke into that fair value gap. Again, don't want to see it. If it pulls back, regardless of my stops here or there, it's going to take me out. So we close below this fair value gap. Signs of weakness or strength of it going lower. So do watch out for that. Terminus is the low of this expansion candle into it. $8 a.m. Oh, faux shizo. All right, we're below this bullish order block here. I'm gonna scale in here. Gonna be told you guys, it's gonna be a big position if it decides to push all the way up. And then if we get a closure above here, and especially above here, then we're going to be aiming for these relative equal highs here. This buy side that was never taken. But again, it might reverse from here. I don't know. This is basically a very important fair value gap here that it has to break to the upside and invert. What is that? 80. 80. Sell stop. And then if it gets above here, then we're going to start trailing our stop loss and seeing how high we can get it before price reverses. But again, getting above this level here, I think we're going to hit these highs. But again, that's the terminus here. We're technically around mean threshold of this displacement candle lower. I think I'm covering right now commissions on the downside, so it's a break-even trade. Best case, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it dries up all the way, and that should be 1,000 per account. And we'll scaling more if it gets above this level here. Come on, price, keep going up. Use this fair value gap. Keep pushing. ADM OHLC. Push into this bullish order block here. Once it breaks below this low here, problem. scaling. Okay. It gets above here. There's like a 70% chance I hit target. So I'll be very happy with that entry. I'm going to keep it at 6 contracts here. Sell side, sorry, buy side. That's going to be the limit there. High probability fair value up right here, guys. V rejection. Promising right now. Come on, get. So we closed above the daily fair value gap high there. And I'm looking at prominent fair value gaps here on the left-hand side. I locked in maybe a couple of bucks here. Below like the body, the bearish order block below here. So if it wants to tag me out, it has to break the high of the 1 hour daily fair value gap. It has to break this fair value gap, which is creating this one and the bullish order block here on this bullish expansion higher. And if it does all that, then I'm wrong and can definitely tag me out. So I feel like it's well protected here. Again, the body's closing in the upper half, which is technically, you know, weakness. But let's see if it wants. The bodies are still closing within this high probability fair value gap. So let's see it close above it. Then we got our 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. First presentations as well. We'll let this one rip. So sell side taken, buy sides remaining. We just had a shift in market structure right now on the 1 minute. Not on the. Let's look at the 2 minute here. Yeah. So again, I think the sell side stop is safely nested even below this 2 minute bullish order block here. We're going to be hopefully closing above this level. Let's see how that 1 minute close there. Upper halves of it, perfect. 3 minute, we're going to be breaking that inversion. 4 minute, 5 minute. I'm going to move my sell stop to below the body of this bullish order block here. So a bit more. This was a very high risk entry, guys. I'm not going to lie. But I got in at how many? 3, and I scaled up to 6. So I doubled up my position as it was going in my direction. We're going into midnight open here. Let me get back to the 1 minute here. I don't think I'd want to see this price close below it. I'm going to nest my you know what? I'll leave my stop loss where it is at roughly $100 profit. Below mean threshold of this inversion fair value gap here. So if price were to revert here, once it pushes above this, the 7 a.m. and the 6 a.m. first presentations fair value gaps, I'm going to butt it even lower because the pullback here can be gnarly if it happens. You know what? Once it finds its bottom on the pullback, I'm going to jam my stop loss to the swing low. $491. I don't know what GEX means. Second wall. Nice. Once we get above this high here, that's going to be a bullish order block there that I will be happy with my stop loss sitting below there. We got to lock in our profit. If it wasn't in negative 1.5 R, I would let it breathe a bit more, but I got to get out of this morning drawdown here. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, well, I'm glad that whatever GX is doing, it's aligned with the targets here. Beautiful rejection there. Come on now, use that energy. I have to hop off the stream in like a minute. I can't leave this trade. I just don't trust Tradevate at all. Like Top Step, you can leave and just go do whatever. Okay. Where's my stop loss right now? Below this high probability fair value gap. Below the 1 hour daily high. Below a possible low swing point. And whatever that is. So that's $200 locked in right there. So it's 200 or 1,000. And I'll take those chances. I'm not going to want to play a pullback lower than that, which technically on the 2-minute, you know, it went into this little fair value gap here, right? And then it aggressively pushed away. We're going to be closing above these 7 a.m. and 6 a.m. first presentation fair value gaps, which we just did twice already. And I want to see it continue going higher. So it's like a really weird dance that you have to have between stop loss management and managing your target profit. And this is my Achilles heel, where you want to get a bit greedy and holding that profit, but you want to let it breathe. So I just try to nest it between 3 to 4 high probability PD arrays. Nope. I just have 3 accounts right now with funded family futures. That's it. Might be taken out here. If my, you know what? Technically, you know, for $100. Again, I'm flip-flopping right now between my stop loss management. The safer sell stop would be down here. And I think I'd rather get out for roughly $100. What is that going to be? 8 tick. Then get wicked out and prices driving higher. See, right now I'm conflicted here. Find your bottom price. Shift in structure. If we get a closure below this fair value gap, I might manually close. Technically, this is just a pullback on the 2-minute into a fair value gap. I do not like how price broke below this high probability fair value gap. I want to see an immediate closure higher. And once that happens, stop loss is going right there. We close that mean threshold there. I don't want to draw too many fair value gap here, guys, but I'm just looking at all of these here. Like there's one here. There's one there. All right, there you go. Stop loss. That's officially invalidation. If it takes me out, whatever. That's invalidation. It can even be below that body right there. So $200 officially locked in. I think I had my stop loss there initially, so I would have been tagged out for 200. And this move would have been driving me crazy to the upside. But at this point, I think I'm okay with being stopped out here. That is, as I do a quick calculation here, roughly 17 pip, 17 handle, $170. Okay. So we rejected the upper half of the daily fair value gap. Now price is kind of bouncing between these levels of these first presentation at 6 and 7 a.m. and this high probability that created to the downside. So at this point, either 1R or 5R. Come on, draw, just load, man. What do I trade on? This is the MNQ. Prop, only prop for now. I feel like the RR there is insane not to trade prop. And then eventually once you get into like the larger numbers, like I'm talking about like you're risking $1,000 to $2,000 per trade, live would make sense. But you know, prop scaling 20, 30 accounts, that's I think right now, because it's eventually gonna all disappear. It's all gonna go away. Like there's gonna be some regulation. Like it happened with, I think they were called like my FX trading, something. There was this company back in the day 3 years ago and they went under and they got investigated. So it all stops. I'm moving it right below this high probability fair value gap. It can definitely be butted under there too, but I'll leave it here. I'm not going to scale out here. I'm just going to let it rip all the way to the buy side. Maybe right here. You know what? Let's be safe. And we're going to do, we'll do a limit of 80% withdrawal from there. And then the last little bit, we'll see if price is going to get there. You have no idea how many times, guys, price teased me, sell for a limit, and then this one will have to adjust it too. I'm moving my stop loss now below this bullish order block before this explosion to the upside. We're going to close above this fair value gap most likely. My goal is to get to live by end of year. I'm going to take probably 50K and put it into a live and trade 2% of that. So 1K per trade. That's my goal by end of year. So you guys will see me if I get to my goal. But eventually props just stop making sense. But I think they make sense for a very long time for a lot of traders. Sell limit. Oh, that's a mistake. That should be 2. All right, so we're 6 in. Macros kicking in. I think we have 8:30 news, don't we? Forex Factory. 8:30 news, guys. Core retail sales. Let's get above this fair value gap here. And then use that to push price higher. Right, price is moving higher. I have to drive my daughter to school right now. I can't leave. She's gonna be late for school. Oh my gosh. See, this is my external struggle right now. But anyways, fix your limit orders. Oh, thank you, thank you, Max. Thanks, guys, for watching my back here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to explain to her teacher why she's late for school. Trading the NASDAQ, we were up 600. I had to trail my stop loss. It's 3 accounts, so you're up 1,500. I just couldn't justify for learning basic math over hundreds of dollars. Trail stop loss. That is the question here. It's going to go below the body of this bullish order block. The heavy position right now. 26 6 contracts. I've locked in $300 at this point. I'm pretty sure this is 300 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, gotta pay my bills, teacher. Entry model. What's your entry model? Here it was sell side sweep, inversion fair value gap. We went long, and then as it started breaking PD arrays, we were scaling in. That was the entry model. This is like 2022 model, I think, right? Let me look at the 2-minute here. I'm already late for school. We're like, here is a giant bullish order block. You can even leave it here at the mean threshold of the high probability fair value gap. And once we get close to here, we're just going to put our stop loss right below there. We're butting into a 15-minute fair value gap right here. 8:30, news kicking in. We'll see. This news driver is going to be the deciding factor of what price will do. I'm hoping that it's going to push higher because that's where liquidity is, guys, right? We're technically protected below this bullish order block before we had this move higher. All of these 6 and 7 a.m. first presentation fair value gaps were below mean threshold of the 2 a.m. bullish order block. So all in all, it's like, again, like, do I close it out here for 500? I'd rather get sold out for 300 and have the opportunity to make 1,000. Yeah. Princess, we're up 500 right now. We have to see if this is going to be pulled to $1,000 because then we're done trading for the day. All right. Sell stops moving to below this high here. Perfect move higher. Come on, price. So these are pre-930 highs here. There you go. Adjusting the 2. Guys, listen, I'm going to close off the live stream here. I really have to go. But basically, I think I have to cut it short. I really have to leave right now. We're going to do a 30-second trail here. We get stopped out, whatever. We're doing a 30-second trail here. I'm just forcing myself to get out of this trade at this point. Crazy management. It took a lot of mental capacity out of me. There you go. Trailing above this low here. All right, go. Stop me out or go. Stop me out or go. There you go. We're pushing higher. Trail. Beautiful session, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Come on. Go. A bit more. What am I even going for right now? $40 that's remaining? This is closing in 19 seconds. We'll get below that low as well. There you go. Below that low. Now, basically, it's like 230 or 270 for the remaining. See how much stress gets removed the moment you take out these like easy highs out? There's zero stress right now on my end. The only stress right now is my kid has to go to freaking school. There you go. Come on. Come on. On buy side. Did ES take buy side yet? No, it's so far from buy side. So nothing should be stopping price from. Come on, bit more, bit more. Do it for the boys and the gals. It's just so satisfying just seeing your terminus being hit. And we survived that pullback. I think I'm going to get tagged out here. Okay, I'm out. Guys, big day. I'm up 2R or 3R. Take care, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Later. Okay.